All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So, welcome to the best smartphone that ended up closing out 2020. This is probably the best offering and most well-rounded device for every consumer out there who needs a smartphone. That means that if a person is looking for a smartphone and they have certain requirements, this smartphone will meet your needs. Now, this is the Google Pixel 4a 5G. It was released in November. We're at the end of December at the recording of this video, and this is the ultimate smartphone for the everyday person. You know, there's other offerings from Google, there's other offerings from other companies, but in my testing and my experience of reviewing tons of phones, this is probably one of your best offerings for 2020 into 2021 if you need a phone that's going to be there for you. Now, that said, this has a Snapdragon 765G, which is why you can get 5G. It's unlocked to all carriers. It has a 6.2-inch display, 1080p by 2340, a 16 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 12 megapixel main shooter, 6 gigs of RAM, 3,885 milliamp hour battery inside. Stock Android, a pure Android experience. It's just blazing fast. This is the ultimate go-getter for everyone out there that's looking for a phone. Has always on display. You've got the 19:5 by 9 aspect ratio, giving you 413 pixels per inch for those that think that's important. It is just fantastic. Simply put, 6 gigs of RAM, like I said before, and 128 gigs of storage. 4K recording at 4K 60, 8 megapixel on the front that shoots at 1080p. And it's just auto sure. It's just loaded up. Bluetooth 5.0, Type-C 3.1, rear-mounted fingerprint reader, all the things that get you through 2020 and into 2021. Now, coming in at $499, this is a middle ground, well-rounded device. Now, some of you might think you need a whole bunch of phone. You need the Quad HD display. You need the 256 gigs of storage. You need the 10 gigs of RAM. You need these things. You actually don't need those things. You want those things, I would say. And this is me saying this, speaking to several people with all different types of phones. Folks, I have nearly all the latest flagships and nearly all the expensive phones. The 8T, all the current iPhones. I have the 5G too, and you know, there's a reason I didn't pick this one for the ultimate phone for most people, and it's simply just because of the price. You're getting ultimately the same phone here, but you're getting a few more options. But most consumers won't need those options, and it took me a long time to kind of consider this. You're probably saying, Jay, where's your 4A? Well, my 4A Pixel 4a is sitting right back over in the corner over there because it's a great phone too. However, I feel like if a person wants to settle in on a device and keep it for quite some time, and you want to have some kind of, not future-proof, but you want to have some, you can tap into what the future technically is, meaning 5G services and the speeds that are going to come along with that later on down the line. You know, it is already fast right now in speeds on the internet. In the phone itself is just blazing fast. So let's get into one of the most beautiful things about the display. This is the, let me turn on a video for you. I'm actually recording with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, by the way. So let me fire up a video and then I'll show you the screen. All right, so I got a video pause and set up here. We're just gonna look at my truck. It's not so much that you look at my truck. You're looking at the quality of the screen, and we're gonna go ahead and crank the brightness up here, and show you here. This has stereo speakers and it has a full screen display, and it is absolutely beautiful. 21 Chevy Colorado. This truck is what I got to replace my Chrysler 300 as a daily. Needed something I could haul with, and this was it. I'm gonna get a wide enough shot for you here. You can see there, it's a good look at the color of it. Now this video doesn't have like music or anything like that, but the stereo speakers on here are nice because it actually has a speaker grill, unlike the Pixel 5 has a real speaker grill up front, and then it uses one of the speaker grills on the bottom here. And this is just to give you some sense of the quality of this display. This should be enough for everybody out there who's looking for a smartphone with a beautiful big display. This is definitely the device. So let's turn that volume down. This display is absolutely fantastic. And I started with the display after telling you about why I think this is a good look, because the display is what we see on every device. This is what we look at first. This is what we look at. We look at the display of the device. And this is where you'll spend most of your time texting, emails, everything is going to be right here on this display. And this is a beautiful display for media consumption. Now, why didn't I pick the Pixel 5 or the Pixel 4a? Well, this has the larger display. And by today's standards, the bigger display wins for a lot of people. This has a 6.2-inch 1080p display, and they all have 1080p displays, but you got 5.8 and then 6 on this one. So with this one coming in lower in cost and then giving you a bigger display, which is the same quality, it's kind of a no-brainer to me. You get an OLED HDR display. I mean, on a $499 device, this is pretty decent by today's standards. Now, a con about the display is that it has Gorilla Glass 3 and it has a plastic back with a plastic frame. But those things can be a con, but they can also be a good thing, because a metal body, if you drop it, yeah, it's going to be strong, but plastic is strong too. Our phones were all plastic at one point, and we didn't have a problem with them when we dropped them. This is getting into those, we feel like we have to have this premium film device. I mean, if they switch to like all metal phones, you're going to start getting into pricing like this. I mean, because Google can produce some great devices, man. They could produce some killer phones if they allowed the companies, someone to make them for them, but then they're going to jack the price up. And honestly, these phones do exactly the same thing. This is a 6.7-inch display, obviously on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And some of you guys want me to compare these two phones right here. This is a pretty simple comparison to me. The Pixel will do great in video and photos, and the iPhone will do great in video and photos, and it's a real balance between the two. This one's going to win the price war. This one's going to win the still shots. It's the same old story with matching Pixel devices against any other device. The Pixel always wins the cameras, and then the difference now, though, is this Pixel 4a 5G, as I move to the next segment of why I think this is probably the ultimate phone for a lot of people, which is battery. This battery is actually really good. It can last you some days. So it says I have about a day and 13 hours left, and I've got 2.5 hours of screen on time, and a full charge lasts about 4 days. Now, for me, I'm averaging about 4 to 5.5 hours of screen on time, 4 to 6.5 hours of screen on time within this 4-day period. So this is probably one of the best optimized devices I've ever had. Now, it doesn't match my Moto G. I still have my Moto G. That one has long battery life and has about the same time, but I'm getting like 17 hours of screen on time. It has a 5,000 mAh battery, and it's obviously optimized extremely well. But we're talking about this device. Getting 4 days and then getting about 5.5 to 4.5, 6 hours of screen, that's a lot of time with the phone. I don't like to measure screen on time. I like to use the phone, how long it's going to stay off the charger. And this phone right here can definitely last you off the charger. There is a SIM card in here, and I make phone calls. I do text, emails, everything. And this phone is absolutely always there for me. That is where it beats up on some phones like this. That costs double or almost 2.5 times the cost. That in the phone I'm recording with is $2,000, and it can't do that. As much as I want to name the Z Fold 2 the ultimate smartphone for every consumer, it's not the ultimate smartphone for every consumer. The Z Fold 2 is the ultimate smartphone for the creator. And I'll talk about that in another video, because you're probably thinking, oh, Jay, this is your smartphone of the year. This is a smartphone for me, and it is definitely a fantastic smartphone for everyone out there. So any person that is looking for the everyday go-getter and battery life, screen, you're looking at it right here. I'm recommending this to you right now. And I just feel like if you can kill this phone in a day, you will have 14 hours of screen on time because you're going to be on it all day. Even though it has a 3,885 milliamp hour battery inside, it is absolutely fantastic, folks. It lasts me all day and then some, and I just don't charge it every day, as you can see. My phone lasts me on average almost 4 days on a charge with about 6 hours of screen on time roughly. And that's fantastic battery to me. And see, some of you guys are going to measure and say, oh, Jay, that's horrible battery life. You're not even getting 8 hours of screen on time. Oh, I can definitely get 8 hours of screen on time out of here. I've done it in the past. I've gotten 9 hours of screen on time, but that was with about 2 days off the charger. I'm looking for how long the phone is going to be off the charger and is going to be there for me if I'm on a trip. I don't charge. If you don't know me, I don't charge my phones like every night. I charge them when they get to about 20% or so, or maybe 10 sometimes. I just charge them when they start to die. I don't monitor it that closely. I want my phone to be there for me when it's supposed to be there for me. And this phone is there for me. Yes, it is there for me. So battery life, you are going to love this phone for battery life. Now, performance. Performance, folks. This isn't something that should come as a surprise to you. It has the Snapdragon 765G, which is the same, again, as the Pixel 5. And it's going to perform just like the Pixel 5. The Pixel 5 has 8 gigs of RAM, obviously. But the truth of the matter is, Eric shout to Easy, truth be told, the truth of the matter is, this is a great performer. It's stock Android. It's gonna outperform tons of other Android phones when it comes to just regular old usage. Because you know why? There's no skin on it. There's nothing on the device, and it's just a flat out performing champ. It just performs, period. It's going to be there for software. I haven't had any hiccups with this phone, believe it or not. Nothing, no heating, no overheating, no crashes, no nothing. I've had this phone for almost a month, I think, or a month. I think it's been I'm not sure. But let me tell you, this phone is there for me. No problems is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a phone to perform well. If I open up a bunch of stuff, what can it do? Can it go back to the things and open up when I need it? That's what I'm looking for. And when you're reviewing a phone, you're in a different mindset. You're looking for things to go wrong. So what I've done is I've shifted my way of reviewing a phone, and I just use it. And then if something comes up, I'll probably shoot a video on and let you guys know, hey, this happened to me, or tell you in another video. But for now, folks, there are no issues with this phone. The software is flawless. Google did a fantastic job with the software on the Pixel 4a 5G, the Pixel 5, and the Pixel 4a. They all have the same software. They're pretty much the same phone, with the exception that this phone, the Pixel 5, having water resistance, wireless charging, and a few other quirks and stuff like that. But another reason why I recommend this device, it's got a headphone jack. The simple basics. The headphone jack is important to a lot of people. Depending on who you are, you don't want, it's still strange that some people think that everybody wants a Bluetooth headphone set. No, not everybody. Some people like to simply plug in. It's one less thing to charge. You feel me? It's one less thing to charge. That's all it is. Now, let's look at something real simple, a fingerprint reader. Now, we all know what happened in 2020. This has been a challenging year for us. It's been a challenging year. And it's been a challenging year, I'll say that. But we have right here something that saved us from something that couldn't be saved by all the phones that require you to unlock with your face or a pen-only option. Having the ability to unlock on a physical fingerprint reader has beaten out every other phone. The OnePlus, I gotta do it in the screen. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hold the screen, or I can use the facial recognition, which is really fast. But having a fingerprint reader on the back of all the Pixel devices, Google, you won. You won that battle. You won it, hands down, son. You beat up everybody, and you did it right. I don't know if you foresaw what was coming, but this is a must on cell phones. A physical fingerprint reader wins the game. It wins it, and this phone has it. It has it. You got a headphone jack, you got a physical fingerprint reader, you got stereo speakers, you got a nice matte feel here on the Pixel 4a 5G. All the Pixels are like that. They're all like that. Sort of sage, beautiful. Let me get my 4a. Hold on. I got him skinned up, but this body feels just like all these other two bodies. They all feel the same. They feel the same, folks. These are ultimately the same phones with a few tweaks, and it's a good tweak. I love it. I think Google shut it down by making these devices. I truly believe that. And I think that if you think otherwise, I respect your opinion. But some people say, oh, those are ugly, blah, blah, blah. I got you. I respect that because that's just your opinion. Could these phones look better? Of course. I mean, obviously, you got some beautiful phones out there. This is, you know, the Z Fold 2, I'm recording with it, but this is actually a beautiful phone. I think this might be the most beautiful hardware that I have in my catalog, all the iPhones that I bought. The newer 12s, I think they're one of the most beautiful devices if you're looking at hardware, especially this color right here. I mean, this is a beautiful piece of hardware. I'm just being honest, you know, but that's all subjective. That doesn't matter. But this right here is a great looking phone to me. All of these, because they look the same, these are good looking phones. And I think Google turned the right corners. They put the money in the right places to create these phones. And, you know, I just think they did it right. I think this hardware is so simple that it's good. You know what I mean? Some things are just simple and it's good. Same thing with that iPhone 12. It's a simple design, but we like it. We love it. You know what I mean? So this design and hardware is going to please tons of people. Now, obviously, I keep these phones in cases, my rugged cases right here. And that goes to my next point, accessories. You can find tons of accessories for these Pixel devices. You can find tons of accessories for these, tons of them, affordable accessories. You can't say that for a lot of other devices. Some devices have just the most expensive. Now, you can find expensive cases for these and tempered glasses and stuff like that, but I'm making a point that you have an option to buy some really good stuff, affordable price. That's the point I'm making. You know what I mean? So, lastly, is the obvious. What is it? It's the freaking cameras, man. Google has won me over. When I first used this 4a, I was freaking blown away. Bars. I was blown away. Son, I was like, man, if they just put an ultra wide on here, this will be the beast mode device. What did they do? They brought the 5 and they put their ultra wide. Bars. And then they finished off the suite with the Pixel 4a 5G. Cameras, smash. They just smash everybody. So, portrait shots. Obviously, you know, I like everything portrait mode, but just video alone is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. You know, so the argument about the cameras is played out at this point. If people are still saying that the Pixel has bad video and it could never live up to the, you're not using the phones. You're not using these devices, and you don't know nothing about what you're talking about when it comes to these Pixel devices. These phones right here have all been moved to the next level. So this is footage from the Pixel 4a 5G. For those that love to say that the video is bad, I just got a couple phones on the table right here, and it's a OnePlus Nord. But I got the this phone's lined up here. It's not about what's on the table. It's just about the quality. If I was going to do a video or something like that, you know, this is what I would be looking at, like right here, like boom, okay, hey guys, blah, blah, you know, the OnePlus, blah, blah, you know, this is what I'd be looking at. This is the footage. It's not like a hype machine. Google's not paying me. They probably don't even know I'm making this video. I'm not sending it to Google, but you can go ahead and hook your boy up, you know, so I can get some shares from big dog Google, you know what I'm saying? Google sent me these two, and I bought this one. And I really wanted to name this one, like I said, Phone of the Year. But once I got this one, I was like, you know, I could see why some people thought, I think this was supposed to be the Pixel 5 XL. But somehow in translation, they kind of got them. I don't know. the marketing team, the production team, it was too late to do something. It was too late to do that. I don't know. But the point is, you got 3 good options right here. To me, they got this one in at $499 for a reason, because they know everybody's going to want to buy the middle. Most people want the big screen. They want the big one. And if you can get the big one for less and still get a lot of functionality, like 99% of the functionality of the other ones that cost more, why not? And if you was a real baller, a beast mode person, you would have listened to your man Jay and bought this for $350 when I told you back in the day. Bars. I told you to grab this for $350. It's too good of a deal. And if you was a new customer, you could have got it for $300. Nonetheless, I digress. I just can't stop the bars. Cameras on here, unmatched in my opinion. I humbly say they're unmatched. This device is straight up 99% of the consumers in the world could use this phone right here and be totally happy. I mean, you're talking to somebody who's been using it straight through for about a month or so, a little under a month, but I've been using this straight through. It has nothing to do with it. Just because I paid for it or Google sent it to me. I'm neutral when it comes to reviewing phones. I'm not biased in any kind of way. Hey, it is what it is. If a phone is good, it's good. And it's even better if I got a great deal on it. $350 for this was my best purchase of 2020. This was the best purchase that I did in 2020 for myself, like personal. It has nothing to do with reviews and stuff like that. I wanted this phone when I first saw it. I wanted it. And I was blessed enough to have Google send me these, and I just appreciate that. But I wanted this phone right here. And I thought, man, what a way to close out. This thing is fire. It's like having both of these together. They knew what they was doing. Both of these right here combined it to here. They knew what they was doing. They give you a little bit of here and a little bit of here, and they put it all in here, and then boom, phone of the year, bars. You don't hear me. So if you're wondering what I think the all-around person that walks up to me and says, hey, Jay, I need a phone for my moms. I need a phone for my son. I need a phone for myself. I need a phone for my wife. I got to gift my coworker because his phone broke or her phone broke. They need something that's going to just set them over the top, be good on battery, good cameras, good screen. They like to watch movies and videos. They love taking photos of their shorties and their children, their cousins, their aunts, whoever. They love doing everything video. Man, but they need a headphone jack too. Those don't exist on a lot of phones. Oh, I got you. That's called the Pixel 4a 5G. It has 5G? Yeah, son. It's unlockable. Oh, yeah, son. You can grab that joint. You'll be set. So, if you were wondering, everyday Joe, mom, son, family member, even tech heads, you need to be using this right here. It's one of your dailies. I faithfully use this as a daily phone every day. I've been with Google Fi for 5 years or something like that. I don't even know. Every day. Right here, son. This is the one. This is my second line. This is my primary line. And then my other line is right here. So you want a good phone? You want to save some bread? Next time, do what I said. You see this phone on sale, bars? You see this phone on sale? Grab it, son. It don't matter if we're in 2021 or not. Depending on when you're watching this video, grab this phone. Now, I've said all I can say to let you know what was going down with this phone right here. Any questions or things that I didn't talk about in the video, you can ask them below. Maybe somebody else will chime in and answer them for you if you would have this phone. But I'm telling you, this phone is totally worth the $499 price in my humble opinion. Even though I paid less, I would have greatly paid $499 for this for real. And I don't think you should skip over it. So if you're looking for a good solid device. Now let's be fair here. $500 is a lot of money. I'm not telling you to just throw your money out there. But I think this is available on T-Mobile too. This is an unlocked model, but you can get this on T-Mobile, I believe. But I say live unlocked when you can. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. The 4a 5G has taken it for this to 2020. It just shut it down for the everyday person, man. Just anybody, techies all around. It's a well-rounded device. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.